What is up, everybody? Josh here again, and today we have a new OneSummit video for you. Today we're going to be showing you all about gardening. We're going to go into gardening and all the details and show you all these items behind us and how to set them up. Let's get into it, shall we? We've got a little bit of a build here. We're going to show you how to set up a garden kind of like this, go over the lower and more advanced items that is used in gardening and how they work. First off, we're going to hit O and go to our Memetics. And underneath logistics on the right hand side, so you got to go into stoves and dishes one first, but you can go over to planting, compost bins, planter boxes, fertilizers, which we'll go over a few of those, as well as grow lights at 4 and fertilizers 2 and the final fertilizers 3. So we're going to go over the fertilizers, the grow lights, and the auto irrigation as well, which is located right here in the rain collection system underneath the left hand side here. Automated irrigation, this is also included in this video, so this is where you find it to unlock it. So we have several things set up here, and we're going to show you kind of how to farm. We're going to go between this base and our main base over there and take a look at our farms here. So we have some crop plots set up here, and all the crop plots are underneath a little canopy here. And the reason why that is because we are automatically irrigating the crops ourselves. We are not letting the rain do so. So if you do not put your crops underneath a structure like this, what's going to happen is that the crop plots are going to fill up to 100% water, and these crop plots, they're not like that. So basically these crop plots, they are perfect for each one of these plants, around the 60 to 70 range for the water, and then we got like 100% grow lights going on here as well. So we have to put these plants underneath a balcony like this. Otherwise, your plants will get way too much water, which is not really that great for them. So first off, we're going to talk about the water irrigation system that we have going on here. Over on the side, we have one little water pump, and this one little water pump's going to an osmosis filter, which is then going to a water tank here, which is storing purified water. We have some videos on our channel if you're interested in checking out how to set up a purified water, but this is the most simplest design you can set up, and you'll always have water for your irrigation. So we take the line from here, hitting V as in Victor, and we're going to connect those lines to our irrigations, our automatic irrigation facilities here, and they're going to automatically water all of our crops here. And we just got them set to about 70. 70 is about average for most of the plants that I like to plant. You do have to check and make sure that the plant you're planting doesn't get too much water or too much sun, which is not good for it. And I'll show you what I mean up here at this garden. So we're going to go ahead and plant some new plants here, and we're going to hit F for farming. F will bring up the seeds. These are all the seeds that's available for us to plant. And each seed or each plant, you see whenever we hover over here, they have like a different range that they all have to be. So for example, if we wanted to plant pumpkins, pumpkins like it from anywhere to 50 to 90 irrigation, and of course anywhere from 70 to 100% light, just anywhere from 70 to 100. We just keep our grow lights on 100 because we have grow lights. So the irrigation is really where you want to make sure that your plants are getting the proper amount of irrigation. But for example, these yellow tulip seeds, you can plant these outside. They can get 100% irrigation and they'd have no problem at all with that. So it really kind of depends on the plant. So whenever you go to plant a seed in your crop plots, you want to make sure that you check out the irrigation and lighting and try to get it within that green bar, the most optimized growing. Now you also, whenever you go to plant a seed, for example, we're going to plant a seed. If you left click on it, you get to choose your fertilizer, and there's a few different fertilizers. They all have their different purposes. For example, mutilation boost, which will rewrite the plant's genome, increasing the chance that it will become deviated, kind of like this crop right here. A deviated crop will not expire. It doesn't actually have an expiration, so it won't actually expire, which is really nice actually. See, these regular beets here, they do have a durability or effect. Deviated crops do not. And for example, the basic fertilizer, which I'll show you how to make here in just a moment, it is something that will increase the good yield and increase the chance of a bountiful harvest. The fertilizers will help with farming and let you get more of that crop whenever you go to harvest it. There are different fertilizers, for example, the growth boost, which will give it more speed. It'll grow faster, which is actually pretty good because these do grow quite slow. So a growth boost is definitely good to have. Breeding boost, which will increase your seed yield. So if you're trying to get a bunch of seeds, then getting this fertilizer with the breeding boost will be a great fertilizer to have to increase seeds. Got the improved compound fertilizer, several benefits all in one. That is unlocked in the Memetic specialization, so you have to be able to actually get that. And of course, we have a yield boost here as well, which of course will increase the yield. So fertilizers are great to have if you can actually make them. To place them, you just basically click on the seed you want, click on the fertilizer, and then you'll hit F to go ahead and plant that. Now you can have your auto irrigation to take care of the watering, or you can go ahead and take some, for example, purified or boiling water, whatever you want. Seawater, dirty water, you see the options here. And you could click on it, and what you want to do is make sure that there's enough water in there. So this one actually has a little bit too much water for this. So we're going to go ahead and let it kind of trickle down into the green area. And of course, we could water the plant if we wanted to, or just use the auto irrigation. I like using the auto irrigation. It's pretty good. Of course, to make the base fertilizer, you're going to need a compost bin. It's quite simple. You could take plants or spoiled food. Spoiled food is my favorite thing for compost. If you have refrigerators, sometimes you'll have spoiled food, and the refrigerators will have spoiled food or any food that expires in your inventory also. Keep your spoiled food. You can use it for fertilizer. Pretty much anything organic can go in here, but we're going to take this little bit of spoiled food, throw it in there, and you'll see within 3 minutes we'll have a fertilizer. So every 3 minutes you can make one fertilizer, and the fertilizer is used to make the more advanced fertilizers. Of course, the more advanced stuff is made in the workbench, and you'll see the better fertilizers like the breeding boost here will require you to have some scarlet calmus and some fertilizer to craft that. And the growth boost is basically an apple, so you need to find an apple or grow one and have fertilizer, and then you can make those fertilizers. Munition, which is going to require some mushrooms, stardust source, and fertilizer, and they all do their different things. This is going to increase the chance for it to become deviated. Of course, this is going to increase the yield. All you need is mushrooms. You can find mushroom seeds sometimes at vendors, and sometimes you just can find mushroom seeds. So using the fertilizers is a great way to boost or increase the amount of crops you get. We showed you down there with the water pump how to get your water and have your plants automatically watered. Up here we have just a basic container. You can take purified water from your pumps whenever you purify your water, and you can take it and put it in the water tank and then just kind of gravity feed it to your waterers right here. And as you can see, the waterers are going to sit there and irrigate this up to 60. We'll hit G and you'll see that it's automatically filling up with purified water from the water tank, so you don't actually have to connect it to a water pump. So all you have to do is just take you a barrel and connect it with a V and hook up some pipes to these. This can actually be on the same level too. I just put it above so it's up and out of the way. And you should be able to automatically feed water to your automatic irrigation facility. So that's water and how you plant crops and fertilizer. Now, of course, you can also do grow lights. Grow lights will help you grow your plants at night. Of course, at night, you're not getting any sunlight, so whenever it gets dark, you're not going to be able to grow your plants. But if you were able to put up these grow lights, you can go ahead and grow your plants 24/7 and indoors. As a matter of fact, you don't actually have to have them outdoors. You could close this in completely and just grow stuff inside. That way, it doesn't have to be affected by water or the sunlight. Everything is completely fed to it. It's getting its water, it's getting its sunlight, it's getting everything it needs for it to grow. And of course, you could adjust the grow lights as well. All you have to do is hit F on it to adjust it. We just put ours up to 100 because most plants will accept 100% light. But if it doesn't, you can adjust it and you can put it down some if you need to. And whenever you're growing your plants, you can hover over them and see if they're getting enough sunlight or water. So you can see right there, we planted this corn and it is getting 100% sunlight and it's getting 60 water, which is really good for it. You can hit F to see the details of it. It's right there within its range for water, which our automatic irrigators are at 60. It stays around 59 to 60 at all times. So this is going to sit here and grow in different stages. It does take a long time. It does germination and then it starts growing again. And then you're actually going to be able to sit there and hit F to harvest them. And then you can go ahead and start the whole process again. Now there is an auto or continuous planting, and it will allow you to go ahead and keep planting seeds. It'll just plant the top seed that you planted last. So for example, if we plant an orange seed here, then if we go ahead and automatically harvest this, if we hit G, it's going to plant another orange seed. So it's basically going to continuously plant the last seed that you manually placed, if you have that seed available. We'll plant another one right here. And just show you, hit G, and it's another orange seed. Yay! So we're going to plant some more oranges. Should be able to hit F and then hit G to reharvest the same one. We're planting peppercorns again. Peppercorns are good for some buff foods and stuff like that. Of course, grow whatever you need to. And you can see these are all 100% light and 69%, and we keep them around 70 down here for the water. And they are all 100%. They have light. Now you're going to see if you hit F for detail, it'll tell you artificial light. So right now it is dark at about almost 10 o'clock at night, and we don't have any sunlight out, but our grow lights are sitting here growing our plants for us at night. You don't have to have grow lights, but grow lights are extremely valuable. They actually let you grow 24/7. And like I said, you can grow indoors. You also don't have to have auto irrigation. Now, auto irrigation is not a requirement, but it is super effective. It really is. Keep it around 60 or 70, and usually all your plants will be irrigated. They have a heck of a range as well. It looks like they have about, I didn't actually test it fully, but we have at least 3 on each side here. All these are being automatically irrigated, and of course the one over here on the side as well. If you are kind of running low on mats, you can raise your ceiling up a little bit higher and cover a much wider area, as long as you see this area here and you can see all your crops have 100% light. So just raise it up a little bit higher if you don't want to sit there and put multiple grow lights, and it will cover a large area. Use about a watt each, so if you want to cut down on power, raise your ceiling, and you'll have a much wider area that the grow lights can use. The little thing I'm going to mention is that there are some specialization memetics, and we're going to show you one of those right now, which is gardening glove. Gardening gloves is something you can actually craft, and so that means you can actually have somebody craft them and give them to you as well. But whenever they're in your backpack, there is a 6 to 12% chance to double the seeds you require when planting, which is actually really nice. As a matter of fact, if you had these in your inventory, just like you have the other buff ones. For example, I have a few of these little buff ones here, like portable rain collector and gravel and log on the go. They do their own things. You can have those gloves in your inventory, and you'll have an increased amount of seeds. You can make them in the supplies workbench here. They just require some shabby fabric, some rawhide, and some adhesive, and then you can make that glove, and it gives you an additional chance of getting seeds. You can also make them for your friends too, or sell them. For example, in like a vending machine, you could throw them in there and sell them. Maybe somebody will buy them for the buff they give. They may not have that. Those are actually random gen, and not everybody's going to have gardening gloves. So then maybe you can list it for whatever you want to sell it for. But whenever you go to harvest, you should now get more seeds. Well, look, I got 2 beet seeds, 1 beet seed, 1 beet seed, 1 on that one. Always getting another one. Got 2 on that one. And we're just going to replant them back, like so. We're going to talk a little bit about deviants as well, because there are deviants that you can use for growing and stuff like that. So we're at a teleport right here, not too far north of the Sunbury Middle School. You're going to see a little teleporter right here, and then there's a cave when you get here, just kind of north here of the teleport. That you can go in, and you can farm mushrooms here. So if you're looking for mushroom seeds and mushrooms, come into this cave. There are mushrooms down in here, and some ores and stuff like that. Just come in here and farm all of the mushrooms that you can, and there's a chance for you to get a mushroom deviant. We're gonna come in here and grab all the mushrooms that we can, and the chests. There's some chests in here too. All kinds of mushrooms in here. Great for mushroom seeds for you to grow. There's also a lot of scarlet calmness in here as well. And we finally got us a Growshroom deviant. And you can sit here and keep farming the mushrooms here as well for seeds, and also for just the chance to get you another Growshroom. The Growshrooms are actually used for automatic farming. Getting plenty of mushroom seeds here to go back home and plant as well. The next deviant we're going to be looking for is the bee. And it's actually located right here at the Evergreen Vineyard. And it's not too far from this little teleportation tower right here. If you look at the bottom right, you'll see the coordinates right here around in this area. You could be looking around the silos, and you'll see it spawn around in this area right here. This is one of the spawns. There's a few spawns around. Actually, I've seen one kind of up north as well. Also, be careful. There's level 32 enemies around as well, so you do have to dispatch them if they aggro you. They may spawn just randomly around farms, so it's very possible you'll find them in different areas as well. And we came back sometime later and oh look, we have a level 3 Busy Bee here. So when you go up to get your Deviant also, by the way, you need to have higher level gloves sometimes if it's a higher level Deviant. This is a level 1, so it should be quite easy. But if you go to your gear and go over to your gloves has to be a higher level. So the higher level your gloves is, as far as its tier goes, is the higher chance you can get deviants that are a higher level. But this one's going to be quite easy just to pick up here. And you bring it back, put it in a securement unit, and it'll start doing Busy Bee things. And it will help with deviated crops. And it says right here, if you look at your beets, like for example, my beets are being grown by the Growshroom, which is increasing its productivity and how fast it's actually growing. It can also plant and harvest, as well as the Busy Bee here, which is increasing crop production. So that can actually grow and harvest, and this increases your crop production. And after some time, you're going to notice that the little mushroom's going to sit there and replant stuff. So it's actually just sit there and grab some of the items that were already grown fully. And we're going to go over to its little deviation or securement unit and see that we have some beet seeds here, some more beet seeds, some beets that we can harvest, peppercorn, pepper seed, peppercorn, some deviated beets, nice. All kinds of stuff for it to, it's harvesting all these things, every single one of them, and it's putting it in its securement unit. And now we can go ahead and just click on Thriving Growth here and click on what seeds we want it to go ahead and automatically plant. So if we want it to automatically plant a bunch of beet seeds, we're going to throw in a bunch of beet seeds there and basically let it plant those. And it's going to sit there and automatically plant some beet seeds for us. Now, of course, if you have multiple ones, it'll plant other seeds as well, or different seeds, but this one right now, you can see now he's going to be planting all the beet seeds. So he's going to automatically harvest and plant beet seeds for us. And the last deviation we're going to talk about, it's really hard to get, is going to be the Grumpy Bulb. And you have to actually have onion seeds. If you come to the Tall Grass Inn and come all the way up top to Emma Potter here, you can buy some onion seeds from them and grow some onions. So you can only get this from actually growing onions in your crop plots. We're also going to go ahead and make some of this fertilizer boost right here, and we're going to put that in there as well. So we're wanting it to mutate so we can get that onion deviation. So we planted some onions with the Deviant fertilization, and we're going to come back sometime later tonight IRL and see if we have a little onion to pick, so that we may put it in our little securement unit here. So real quick, I'm going to go over what these things cost, and we didn't go over the cost. The cost of the loamy soil, which is the tier 1 version of growing stuff, takes spoiled food and boiled water. Boiled water can be made in any kind of kitchen device. And so with the loamy soil, you could just hit F and farm with it. We're going to plant some wheat here with fertilizer, and we could throw some water in there up to about the max here. And this soil is now going to grow wheat. It looks like a little wheat mound now. Of course, we have the planting box, and the box is going to cost you boiled water, spoiled food, gravel, and log. Very easy to make. This is the mat list for the water pump. It's steel, carbon fiber fabric, refined part, standard part, and electronic part. You could also just use water collectors and put them into a basic compact water filter as well, instead of doing the more advanced setup that we have over here. And be sure to, whenever you're setting up your water pump, make sure it's a little bit higher than your filter. And of course, your filter can be on the same level as your tank if you want it to be. Just keep an eye on the little blue flow of water there and make sure it's all gravity feeding down to your lowest, which is going to be your tank. It's quite simple. Once you get that set up, you don't really have to worry about it at all. And if you ever need some purified water, there's probably going to be extra in here. I took a lot of it out earlier today, so it's still accumulating quite a bit of purified water, more than I actually am using. So, and of course, that is with an osmosis filter, which requires electronic, automatic parts, adhesive, metal scraps, rubber, and tungsten ingots, and tanks only requiring logs, adhesives, and metal scraps. The irrigation systems do require aluminum ingots, special parts, electronic parts, and metal scraps to be crafted, and the grow lights require glass, special part, electronic parts, and metal scraps. Of course, you just power it all up with just whatever you can power with. I use biomass generators, so that's what I like to use. They're pretty cheap and they work pretty well. And it looks like, unfortunately, I got a bunch of deviated onions, which is actually pretty nice, but I didn't get a single grumpy bulb. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to show you it, but I'll put a picture of it on the screen. Hopefully we can find one online or something like that and show you guys what it looks like. But unfortunately, I've not been able to actually get it yet. And that's going to be it for this video. Don't forget, if you like what you see, to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Subscribe will get you once human videos just like this one. And hopefully, we'll see you next time. Peace.